Shalom. I'd like to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone rule well. And shalom to sincere, hopeful, elect brothers and sisters listening and learning. And to you brothers preaching and teaching this truth through the four corners of earth. This is Brother Nathan, coming out of the GMS Indianapolis camp. Come back with a quick one through the spirit. This is a video about Floyd Mayweather having $175 million advantage due to his Amalekite accountant, right? Then robbed Jake. You know, that's why the scripture said, never trust thine enemy. Alright, we'll get that. So I'm gonna play this video.
Wait, so you telling me the same people that Floyd Mayweather was standing up for are the same people that took $175 million from him? Check this out.
I will always be the voice for the people in Israel. I will always stand behind the country of Israel. The one and only Floyd Money Mayweather. In Israel, I will always be here for you guys when you guys don't have a voice.
Let me explain. This is what's supposed to be Floyd Mayweather's good friend and business partner, manager, whatever, Jonah Regnitz. He is a big part of Israel, and allegedly, he is the manager who scammed Floyd out of all kinds of things, but namely, they took his jet. According to the lawsuit that Floyd Mayweather had put in, they wired millions of dollars into accounts that he didn't know about, and it was all behind this guy, Jonah Regnitz. And it's really crazy because Floyd was caping and standing up for Israel so much, and then to find out that the same people that he stood for scammed his pockets, according to him. And from a couple of inside sources, they're saying that guy moved in and kind of X'd out all the Floyd people around him that had been with Floyd, and he got control of everything. And according to Floyd's lawsuit, he stole money, stole property. He even took $100-something million worth of jewelry, which I don't know why you got $100 million worth of jewelry, but sold it back to jewelers for only $13 million. I don't know what the hell going on, but this is a cautionary tale. Do not trust everybody with their money, and this came back to bite Floyd in the butt, and I don't like it. What if I told you? Wait, so you telling me?
See? Here it is, Floyd. Alright. Up and representing the nation of people, which is really in our homeland, the nation of Israel. Alright. You're representing the imposters. Okay? The ones that are pretending to be us. And you put your trust and faith in them, and guess what? You got robbed. It's like, what was it, John 10 and 10? Let's get that. This is John 10 and 10. It says, the thief comes not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly. Right. And that thief is Esau Edom, the so-called white man. And the head of it is Amalek. Okay? Those tiny tops. Alright, they're Amalek, the head tribe, Esau. And here it is. They want all the protection in the world, right? But they're doing shit like this. And you got Floyd selling out, looking like a damn fool up there, representing the people that's not for him. Because at the end of the day, Micah 2 and 10 says what? Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. It shall destroy you even with a sword. It says the place is polluted. It shall even destroy you with a sword destruction. All right, this ain't our rest. We're not here to make it on the side of the fence. Yeah, Yahweh Shemashah blesses us and does things, but a lot of these Jakes, or I'd say basically all of them, that move up into the upper echelons, all right, they sell out for money, all right, and we don't feel bad for you because starting with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone on down, we've given the warning to what? Never trust thine enemy through spirit, power, Yahweh, Shema, Shai. And just that last point, and it says on John 10 and 10, it says, I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly. Right. So we're supposed to follow Yahweh, Shema, Shai, right? Because that's the light, following his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures. Okay? So that's how you lead your way, make your ways prosperous, is through the Lord, not through Esau, even the so-called white man. Look, here it is. You do everything Esau wants you to do, and then he still turns his back on you. All right, that's what we're looking at for. They can do whatever they want. This is Ecclesiasticus, or the Book of Sirach, chapter 12, starting at verse 10. It says, "Never trust thine enemy." It didn't say sometimes, or every once in a while, never trust that. It said never trust thine enemy. And who are our enemies? You can read that in Psalms, the 83rd chapter. All right, so all these other nations, starting with the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. Okay? You know, the Japanese, Ammon, Moab, the so-called Chinese. You know, you got Ishmael, Arabs, you know, Elamites, East Indians, and the list goes on. All right, all these people, these nations are against you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay? It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Right, just like when oxidation of metals, which is going to happen. All right, so it's a given that your enemies are going to show forth his wickedness. All right, because they're made to be the wicked. Start with Esau, the so-called white man, the wicked. Pursuant to Malachi 1 and 4. And we know Job 9:24 says what? That the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. Okay? So, we see who's in the power seat of all these structures, these organizations. Alright, you're always going to find Esau Edom there at the top of the food chain. Because once again, what? They've been given the power through the spirit power Yahweh Shema Shai. Alright, verse 11. Though he humble himself and go crouching, right? With Floyd saying, I'm going to stand with Israel, blah, blah, blah. Oh, they cheering. They're happy. All right? But look how they did it. It says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass. And thou shalt know that his wrath had not been altogether wiped away. Right, so you got to stay moving through the spirit. Alright? Guess what? If it's a snake, you're not going to go by it. Because you're going to get bit. It's a given. The warning was already given out. And just like through the spirit power of Yahweh Shema Shai, starting with our apostles and elders of Great Millstone on down, we've been given a warning to show you who our enemies are, who is not for us. But Jake want to try to look past that because they want to be in that can we all just get along spirit? No, when the Lord isn't with that, the Lord's about division. All right, he's about separation. That's why he wants us to be what? Holy, which means separate. And what separates from us from the rest of the world is what? The law, statute, commandments of Yahweh Shema Shai, who the Israelites were only given, pursuing Psalms 147, 19 to 20. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes, judgments unto Israel. As to any other nation, he hasn't is not dealt, so roughly paraphrasing. It says, verse 12. See, these are all warnings. Set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. See? Be pricked therewith. Meaning what? Alright, keep a constant meditation on what Yahweh Shem Shah said about dealing with our enemies. Alright? You can't never trust them. Yeah, like the scripture said, if all be possible, be peaceable with all men. Yeah, we deal, especially in this world, in America, Babylon the Great, where it's a big melting pot of all these nations. So you're going to come across to the point where you gotta deal with these other nations in some way, form, or fashion. Especially Esau, even so-called white men. So you got, like the scripture said, be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. All right. So you got to move with wisdom. All right, but at the end all be all, you can't let these people get too close. None of these nations. Verse 13. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh a wild beast? Right. We're not gonna pity you when you get bit, because we already told you the warning was going out. You refused to listen. It's like a little kid. We put a hot stove to, hey, don't touch this. And what little Jake do? Go and touch it, burn themselves. Well, you don't feel bad because you're like, all right, I just told you. If you touch the surface, you're going to get burned. The warning was given. All right, just like we're given the warning to take heed and return to Yahweh Shem Shai, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. But are all of our people going to turn back and listen to the warning? Hell no. So guess what? When they're getting destroyed out here in these streets, guess who's not going to feel bad? Us. We're going to mock when y'all fear comes. We're going to mock when the calamity hits you. You know, and that's through the Spirit, the power of Yahweh Shem Shai. Yep. So, hey, that's why, let the scripture say, for the love of money is the root of all evil. You know, the world will twist that up and say, for money is the root of all evil. No, the love of money. Money's set up to be used, all right? There's always been money. And real money is gold and silver, you know, precious metals, cattle, you know, land, things of that nature, all right? You know, so but Jake strike themselves through, try to go outside of what Yahweh Shem Shai has commanded us to do. All right, as the scripture said, the whole duty of man is what? To serve Yahweh Shem Shai. Let's get that real quick. But what, Jake wants to lean unto their own understanding. Okay? Whole duty. It's Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yahweh Shem Shai and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. See? It's that simple. All right, like scripture says, my commandments are not grievous. Nah. They're made for us to prosper in. Now we know we can't keep it perfect on this side, but we ought to what? Rehearse the righteous acts. All right, put in that work, that practice. All right, before we're even made perfect, you know, show forth our faith through our works for Yahweh Shem Shai. And that's where our people lack, especially the ones that are trying to make it in this world. All right, and that's why they end up in these situations where they get robbed or they get killed, because they didn't go in the ways of Yahweh Shem Shai. They lead into own understanding. All right, they didn't acknowledge Yahweh Shemashah in all his ways, and so guess what? They got the path of destruction instead of salvation. So with that, I pray as edifying to the elect body and nation of Israel, and I'd like to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua by Hashem Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and great millstone who rule well. Kwame Master